Hello, this is the Lord's Legion yet again with a brand new review, and in this video we will be discussing about the animated adaptation of The Killing Joke. And just to let you all know that this is going to be spoiler heavy considering the story has been out for years, and also in an adaptation such as this, it's pretty difficult to not discuss what happens in the film without spoiling it. But in a short summary, I highly recommend you check this out. To me, this is so much more difficult to really review because this film comes in two separate parts. There's the actual Killing Joke part, and another which is Batgirl's side story. But first I'm going to be focusing on Batgirl's side story because it has the most things to really discuss, as well as the fact that it's something that is literally not from the original story but rather an add-on to help build up Batgirl's character. And on paper this is an interesting idea just to help make Batgirl's character all the more strengthened and compelling so that what happens later on in the film we get more of an emotional connection with it. To be honest, the backstory for Batgirl in The Killing Joke is rather interesting, but at the same time it kept on dragging too much to the point where you're just watching a completely different film. And when you have two separate sections of the exact same film that feels disjointed and out of place, then that is one serious problem, and it's quite a shame as well. And the way they portrayed Batgirl in this film is pretty much standard to what you'd normally expect from Batgirl. Someone who's very smart and outgoing, but at the same time is a rookie and doesn't really know what she's doing properly, which is just what you would expect considering Batgirl at this point is a here 3 years at working with Batman. Now what I like about Batgirl is the fact that no matter how much of a rookie she really is, she really wants to help Batman at every last step. But of course, we have to discuss one simple scene that just feels completely out of place and unnecessary, and that is of course what everyone is calling the Bat sex scene. Now at first when I heard about this scene, I thought they were actually going to do something with this and make more of an emotional impact between the two characters. But when you really watch the whole film and see this scene, this is completely out of nowhere, and not only that, just comes across as more as shock value of anything else. You could literally replace this with a variation of whatever they were trying to convey here and you'd pretty much have the same film. And I could really go on about how wrong this really is, but at the end of the day, this deserves another video in of itself because I've got quite a lot to say about this and why it's wrong, so let's just move on. Now we actually get onto The Killing Joke itself. Now what do I think about how they handled the whole story of The Killing Joke? Well, I think they've done it rather solidly. It really does follow the original graphic novel and it really does it justice. It's almost to the point where it's almost beat by beat the same. Sure, there has been some tweaks here and there, but at no point did I ever find it to be as if it was a watered down version of the graphic novel, and I can really admire that. And at this point, I really do praise both Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as both Batman and the Joker in this film. Both of them really embody their characters by now, and they are both at their absolute best as both Batman and the Joker. And I especially praise Mark Hamill because even before the Joker, he actually sounds so different, yet at the same time sounds like what the Joker would be like before he turned insane. And even when Mark Hamill portrays the Joker, this is hands down his most sinister and dark portrayal of the character he has ever done. As I mentioned earlier, the source material has been followed almost beat by beat. And all of the iconic imagery that came out from this graphic novel is literally there at full glory. And it also really helps how the animation heavily follows the art of the original graphic novel. And despite how certain frames kinda look a bit off, for the most part it's very fluent and the animation just looks beautiful. And it's almost as if The Killing Joke has actually came to life in animation form. So my final thoughts is that the Kill and Choke film is a really solid adaptation. The animation is top notch and beautiful. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are at their absolute best as Batman and the Joker. They followed the original graphic novel almost note for note. And at no point is it ever a watered down version of The Killing Joke. But what really harms the film is the fact that the Batgirl side story keeps on dragging and dragging, and also the bat sex is completely out of character and forced. But overall, The Killing Joke is such a blast and I had so much fun watching the film. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna give The Killing Joke a solid 8.5 out of 10. If it weren't for the Batgirl side story being too long and the bat sex scene, then it would have got at least a 9. But despite all that, I still highly recommend you check out this film. The Killing Joke is so good in fact, that I would even consider it to be their best DC animated film since the Flashpoint Paradox. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.